Right. Good morning, students. Can you hear me well? මා හොඳට ඇහෙනවද? Right. Okay. So I think your test is over now, right? Up to this point, up to the third lesson, are there any questions up to third lesson? මොනවාද ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද? Right? Last week we did the paper covering all the things and what are the things you have with these lessons? 1, 2, 3. මොනවද තියෙනවද ප්‍රශ්න? Oh, Nelly, I couldn't hear you. Can you tell me again?
Sir, for myself, no questions.
No questions, ne?
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. So there is a small problem with this internet connection today. So if there is something, if you can't hear well, let me know. Right. Today's lesson is, we are going to discuss fourth lesson, right? Use of micro microcontrollers, right? Use of microcontrollers. Now we are going to learn about this. What is the meaning of this microcontrollers? මොකක්ද මේ microcontroller එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ? Right? You know, in some places like when you consider about street lamps, right? වීදි ලාම්පු තියෙනවා. So there are something like when dark comes, හරුවල වෙනකොට the light will automatically give the light, right? This is a street lamp, right? හරුවල වෙනකොට street lamp එක automatically පත්තු වෙනවා, right? So you have seen that there are some something like solar panel here. Solar panel එකක් තියෙනවා street lamp වල. එතකොට solar panel එකකින් කරන්නේ ඒකට power දෙන එක. ඒ කියන්නේ current එක දෙන එක එයාට automatically switch on වෙන්න සහ switch off වෙන්න, right? So when the dark comes, the light will automatically switch on, right? Then we can see there are no person is going to switch on the light, but it will automatically switch on when the dark is come. Again, in the morning, this light will automatically off, right? Automatically off. There is no one to switch off the lamp, right? So how this happening? කොහොමද මේක වෙන්නේ? Right? So in these kind of lamps, there is a circuit, small circuit. Small circuit is, it's like a small computer, right? Small. There is a small circuit inside this lamp, right? So that part is doing by this small circuit. මේ small circuit එකෙන් තමයි part එක කරන්නේ. කරවල වෙනකොට light එක පත් වෙනවා. ආයි එළිය වැටෙනකොට light එක automatically නිවෙනවා. එතකොට එතන කවුරුත් physically අපි කවුරුවත් දකින්න නැහැ light එක on කරන කෙනෙක් off කරන කෙනෙක්. එයා automatically ඒක සිද්ධ වෙනවා. Right? එතකොට let's say this is the circuit, right? So there will be a signal to the circuit. There will be a signal to the circuit. According to that, circuit is controlling the bulb or controlling the light. Light එක පත්තු වෙනවද නෙවෙනවද කියලා control කරන්නේ කවුද? මෙන්න මේ circuit එක. මේකෙන් මොකක්ද? Signal එකක් එනවා. Right? So when the dark is there, it will give the signal light 0. Right? When light is there, ඒ කියන්නේ එළිය වැටුනහම signal එක අපි හිතමු 1 කියලා signal එකක් දෙනවා. Right? When this signal 0 comes, the circuit know that it should light the bulb. 0 signal එක ආවට පස්සේ bulb එක පත්තු කරන්න කියලා යාට program කරලා තියෙනවා. මේ circuit එක program කරලා තියෙනවා. This is a programmed circuit, right? When dark is come, it will know it comes the signal 0, and then it will light the bulb. When the bulb light is signal is 1, it know that it should switch off the bulb, right? Likewise, this circuit is doing this part, right? We call this circuit as a small microcontroller. Microcontroller. මෙයා තමයි controlling part එක කරන්නේ. අපි මේකට කියනවා microcontroller මේ circuit එකක් කියන microcontroller එකක් කියනවා. This is a kind of microcontroller. Microcontroller is like a small computer. So there is a computing part, right? That is the meaning of D. Microcontroller. It's like a small computer. It has a pre-programmed computer part, right? So then we can handle these kind of things using that microcontrollers, right? That is one scenario. Street lamps. Have you seen another? Can you give me another example? Things like that. ඒ වගේ මොනවද මට උදාහරණයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද?
Microwave.
Wait, there is small problem with my mic. Let me check that. Yes, Sonali, can you tell me again?
Microwave.
Sorry?
Microwave. Microwave oven, sir.
Can you tell me again?
Microwave oven, sir.
Couldn't get you. Again? Can you type a message? Right. Microwave oven. Yes. Microwave oven. right? Microwave oven. Now, what will happen in microwave oven? When it comes to the required temperature, we have to adjust the temperature that it should be baked, right? We should give the required temperature. So when it comes to the, right, we set the temperature. When it comes to the expected temperature, right, it will automatically switch off. It will automatically switch off, right? So in this microwave, there is a pre-programmed microcontrollers, right? So when we give the required temperature, it will automatically switch off the microwave when it comes to the required temperature, right? That is the another example of using microcontrollers, microwave. It will automatically switch off the uh, microwave, right? What else?
Washing machine.
Sorry?
Washing machine.
Yeah, washing machine. In washing machine also there is a microcontroller, small computer part. So what will happen? We have to give the set of settings and it will automatically wash our clothes until it will do all the tasks, right? So normally it will automatically rinse the clothes and it will automatically wash the clothes several times and it automatically switch off or drain water after all the process are completed. So that is pre-programmed. ඒක කලින් program කරලා තියෙන device එකක්. නැත්නම් අපි ඒකට කියනවා කලින් program කරලා තියෙන computer part එකක් තියෙනවා. So inside that washing machine also there is a microcontroller. Washing machine එක ඇතුළේ අපි තියෙනවා අපි දන්නවා microcontrollers තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Inside washing machine. Right? So another example. So when you go to some shopping mall or supermarket, so there are some kind of sliding door, a glass door. When someone close to that door, right? So there is a door. When someone is close to this door, right? It will automatically open that door. When someone close to that door, it will automatically open, right? So again, that person is away from that door, it will automatically close. It will automatically close, right? So in that circuit, there are some sensors. අපි microcontrollers පාවිච්චි කරනකොට අපි දන්නවා ඒවා sensors පාවිච්චි දැන් light එළිය අපි street lamp එකේ light එළිය sense කරන්න there are lighting sensors, right? So in this automatic door, it should sense the human, right? So if human is near to the door, it should automatically open. And he is away from the door, it will automatically close. So there are sensors to detect. Microcontrollers වල තියෙනවා අපි දන්නවා sensors. Sensors to detect whether there is a human, right? Then someone comes to close to the door, it will automatically open, and when he is away from the door, it will automatically close. So it will monitor by these kind of sensors. inside that there is a small computer program like the microcontrollers. So like that, there are different kind of scenarios that we are using microcontrollers. So nowadays robots are using for different kind of works. So like the manufacturing cars, car manufacturing factories වල අපි දන්නවා robots ලා use කරනවා. So inside robots also there are different kind of microcontrollers. So the simplest example is, you know that remote control cars, right? Sella cars inside those cars also there are microcontrollers, right? So we can handle that car remotely using a remote controller, right? Inside that remote controller and inside that car there are several kind of microcontrollers. So using that microcontrollers, we can control that device or car, right? Those are kind of scenarios that we are using microcontrollers. ඕක තමයි concept එක microcontrollers කියන්නේ. ඒතර microcontrollers වලින් වැඩිම වෙන්නේ මේකයි. Right? It will interact with the environment. හරි interact කරන environment එකත් එක්ක environment එකේ interaction එක අපි එයාට input එකක් විදියට දෙනවා. Right? environment එකේ interaction එක input එකක් විදියට දෙනවා. කොහොමද මේ environment එකේ interaction එක එයා ලබා ගන්න system එක මම දැන් ටිකකට කලින් කිව්වා. What is the way it should detect the environmental interaction? So this kind of physical computing අපි සාමාන්‍ය ජීවිතේ කොහොමද වටපිටාව තියෙන දෙයක් අපි program එකකට සම්බන්ධ කරන්නේ? What we use with some kind of thing, using some kind of thing, we are interacting with microcontrollers. How? As I told, using sensors. Sensor එකෙන් තමයි මෙයාට අපේ environment එකේ input එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන් possibility එකක් තියෙනවා sensor එක through. Light earlier, it was a human temperature. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට humans ලාගේ temperature එක තමයි detect කරන්නේ. කවුරු හරි ළඟට එනකොට ඒක තමයි අර automatically දොර ඇරෙන්නේ. ඒක එතකොට sensor එකක් use කරලා තමයි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. එයා detect කරන්නේ sensor එකේ. ඒ input එක. Right? එතකොට microcontroller එක ඒ විදිහට program කරලා තියෙනවා මේ input එක આવොත් මොකක්ද එයා කරන්න ඕනේ. So the microcontroller is programmed. ඒ නිසා එයා program කරලා තියෙන මේ වගේ input එකක් આવොත් මොන වගේ output එකක්ද දෙන්නේ කියලා. Right? Right. Okay. Tell me this thing. This is a microcontroller. Right? As I said, this is a kind of small computer. This is kind of small computer. Now there are three main parts of this microcontroller. Can you tell me? There are three main aspects of this microcontroller. There should be a what? Input. Right? To be a computer, there are three things to complete. There should be an input. Right? Inside this microcontroller, what will happen?
Process.
Yes, process. There is a process inside this microcontroller. Input is there is a process, and it will give what? Output. It will give output. අපි දන්නවා කම්පියුටර් එකක් වුණාම අනිවාර්යෙන් sorry input එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ, process එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ, output එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? Like that, in microcontrollers as well, there is a input, there is a process, and there is a output. It will get the input. How this process is going to do? This is programmed, pre-programmed. අපි කියන මේක program කරලා තියෙන device එකක්. ඒ program එකට අනුව තමයි මෙයා process එක සිද්ධ කරන්නේ. Right? This process will be done. This process will be done according to the we say as a stored program. Stored program, right? Remember, there is a stored program inside this microcontroller. According to that stored program, this process will be done, right? So therefore, inside this microcontroller, there should be something to store. So what is that? There should be a memory neda. In order to store, there is a memory. Right? Memory or storage. There is a memory, or we call it as a storage. There is a small storage to hold that programmed program. To store this program, there should be a memory or storage. Right? Understood? There should be an input inside my microcontroller. There is a stored program. To store that program, there is a small memory. Right? According to the stored program, it will do the process and give the expected output. අපි program කරන්නේ අපිට expect කරන output එක ලබා ගන්න. This is a simple way of understanding this microcontroller. Give me a second. Shall we write a small note, right? Write the heading as the use of microcontrollers. Microcontrollers are used for various kind of situations in day-to-day life. For example, automatic street lamps, right? Air conditioners, washing machines, what else? Remote control cars, right? So you know that there are some kind of microcontrollers in uh, new vehicles as well. Like so, you can see that when the rain is touching the windscreen, it will automatically switch on the wiper. වතුර බින්දුව වැටෙන ගමන් wiper එක automatically එයා වැඩ කරන්න ගන්නවා. That is kind of use of microcontroller, right? So එයා sense කරනවා ඒ වතුර බින්දුව නැත්තම් moisture content එක වැඩි වුණාම එයා automatically wiper එක switch on කරනවා. Right? So in modern computers there are modern vehicles, sorry. In modern vehicles there are microcontrollers. Okay, right? Then you can write this thing. Here is the process of the microcontroller. It will get the input, right? And it will process that input according to the stored program, right? According to the stored. You can microcontroller place program color in my microcontroller. So there is a stored program. Remember that, right? How this gets the input? Can you tell me? All the inputs exactly from get the input from. So get the interaction with the environment from what? From what?
From its sensors.
From the sensors or use in the sensors. Get the input using sensors, right? So this thing we can say at environment interaction. කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන් අපි මේ input එක. Environment interaction. ඒ කියන්නේ එළිය වටනකොට ඒක environment interaction එක. කරවල වැටෙනකොට ඒම environment interaction එක. So how the microcontroller detect that one? Using sensors, right? Using sensors. Then it will process that data. How that microcontroller is going to be process that data according to the stored program. There's a stored program. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි දැන් අපි දන්නවනේ programmers ලා කියලා ඉන්නවනේ. අපි program එකක් ලියනවා. program එක ලියන්නේ අපිට අවශ්‍ය දේ වෙන්න. So the programmer do this part. programmer කලින් මේක program කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන. එළිය වැටෙනකොට bulb එක off වෙන්න කියලා program කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන. That is the meaning of this stored program, right? Then it will process that data and it will give the expected output. So programmer is the one who know the expected output. Then according to that, he is going to program this microcontroller. අපි දැන් programming කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකයි. අපිට අවශ්‍ය output එක ගන්න ඕන විදිහට අපි program එක හදලා store කරනවා microcontroller එක. Right? So this is the thing. There is a input, there is a process, there is output. Therefore, this unit is like a computer. අපි ඒකයි මේක small computer එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. That is the reason. So you can write this as well. Right? Finish? Right. So this is the scenario of the street lamp, right? Uh, this is the moon, huh? Sun and moon. That means uh, right? In the middle of this thing, there is a sensor, right? This environmental interaction is getting by this sensor, right? When it is light, it will get this interaction. When it becomes dark, it will get this interaction. Then the sensor, according to the these inputs, it will give the expected right? Sensor is giving the what? Input. To whom? To the microcontroller. Right? So middle part is doing by the sensor. Without the sensor, the microcontroller cannot get the input, right? So the input role is doing by the sensor. Sensor එකෙන් තමයි කරවලද එළියද කියලා detect කරන්නේ through the sensor. According to that, it will give the signal as an input. This will give the signal. So let's say when it is light or daytime, it will give the signal as one, for example. අපි මොකද අපි computers එක කතා කරනකොට අපි 0 and 1 ගොඩක් වෙලා පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ 0 and 1 මේක තමයි අපි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට signal එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ, right? So for example, if it is in the daytime, it will give the signal as 1. When it is in the night time, it will give the signal as 0, right? Then this is programmed according to that. එතකොට මෙයා program කරලා තියෙන්නේ daytime නම් 1 කියන signal එක මෙතනට ආවොත් 1 කියන signal එක මෙතනට ආවොත් bulb එක මොනා කරන්නද? මොනා කරන්නද? 1 කියන සිග්නල් එක මම කියව හැටියට මොනවා කරන්නද බල්බ් එක? බල්බ් එක ඕෆ් කරා. right? 0 කියන සිග්නල් එක આવොත් මේ බල්බ් එක 0 කියන සිග්නල් එක આવොත් බල්බ් එක මොනවා කරන්න ඕනද? on කරන්න. this is on state. this is off. right? මයික්‍රෝකන්ට්‍රෝලර් එකෙන් දෙනවා මේක on කරන්නද sorry off කරන්නද on කරන්නද? right? this is the what? output. Output can be switch off the bulb or switch on the bulb. This is the simple scenario so that we can understand what is the meaning of this kind of microcontrollers, right? This is doing the process part. You can take this down. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න. Right? This is the microcontroller. Okay, finish. Sandeepa, finish.
Yes, sir.
Only okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, we are going to discuss something important, buddies. Microcontroller එක මෙහෙම අඳිනවා purpose එකක් නිසා, right? So this is the microcontroller. Now, so we know that this is a small computer chip, right? So therefore, we should understand what are components inside this. මේකේ තියෙන components මොනවද කියලා අපි හඳුනා ගන්න ඕනේ. In a microcontroller. Components of a microcontroller. මේ microcontroller එකක් ඕනම microcontroller එකක් ඇතුළේ තියෙන මොනවද components කියලා අපි බලමු. Right? First thing is there is a central, sorry, processing unit. Central processing unit එකක් තියෙනවා මේක. ඒ කියන්නේ CPU එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? So we know that in our computers, normal computers, there is a CPU, central processing unit. Inside the system unit, there is a central processing unit. In this microcontrollers, right? Also there is a CPU. Why? So there should be a processing. In order to process something, there should be a CPU. CPU is the one who process data. So therefore, there is a central processing unit inside this CPU. Sorry, inside this microcontroller. Right? Central processing unit. This will process the data. Process the input data. That is a task of the central processing unit. What else? Inside this microcontroller, as I said, there is a memory. There is a memory. There is a memory. Remember, there are two types of memories inside this microcontroller, right? So inside our normal computers, there are also two types of memories. Can you tell me that? අපි සාමාන්‍ය භාවිත කරන computers වල two types of memories තියෙනවා. මොනවාද? Two types are there. right? One is a volatile memory. Volatile memory. Volatile means what? Volatile means what? මොනවද අපි volatile කියලා කියන්නේ? Volatile කියලා කියන්නේ this will hold the data temporarily, right? This will hold the data temporarily. So when the power is not there, the data will be erased. Data will be erased. Current එක ගියාම මේකේ තියෙන data ටික erased වෙනවා, right? So these kind of things, this kind of memories is a volatile memory. Volatile memory. So what are the things that store in this volatile memory? මොනවාද මේ volatile memory එක store කරන්නේ? Right? Store data and instructions temporarily. Which is needed to CPU. Which is needed to CPU. Right? So volatile memory is a temporary memory that will store data and instruction which is needed to CPU. CPU එකට එවෙලේ process කරන්න අවශ්‍ය data සහ instruction තියාගන්නේ කොහෙද? Volatile memory එකේ. ඒක temporary memory එකක් power එක ගියාන් පස්සේ volatile memory එකේ තියෙන memory එක erase වෙනවා. Right? So that kind of memories they are inside microcontrollers. Volatile memory. Remember, it contains data and instruction temporarily, which is needed to the CPU. CPU එකට එවෙලේ අවශ්‍ය data instruction තියාගන්නේ මෙන්න මේ volatile memory එකේ. What is it? Other memory type? Non-volatile memory. Right? Non-volatile memory. What kind of things that it should be stored in this memory? Non-volatile means it will not erase the data even the power is not there. Current එක ගියා නැත්නම් power supply එක නැතුණා කියලා මේකේ තියෙන data එක මැකෙනවද? Erase වෙනවද? නෑ. It will not erase the data, right? That is a non-volatile memory. It will not erase the data. What kind of things is stored in this memory? Can you tell me? I told you that in the microcontroller there is a stored program, right? Program එකක් write කරලා store කරන්න ඕනේ microcontroller එකේ. ඒ stored program එක තමයි පස්සේ process කරන්නේ. So the stored program is inside the non-volatile memory, right? Stored program is let's say the program is stored inside this memory. Program එක store වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ memory එකේ. Why? So what will happen if this is stored in volatile memory? Once the power is not there, this will erase. So then how the microcontroller works? Again, දැන් මේක erase වුණොත් එහෙම power එක නැති වෙනකොට microcontroller එක process කරන්නේ කොහොමද data? So therefore, program is stored inside this non-volatile memory. It should not erase, right? So that's why it is stored inside this non-volatile memory, right? Program එක store කරලා තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ non-volatile memory එකේ. මොකද ඒක erase වෙන්න බෑ. Right? Okay. There are two things now, central processing unit and two memory types. One is non-volatile, other one is volatile, right? Can you take this down? This is the microcontroller. I will tell you later what are these things. There are small pins in this microcontroller, small pins, right? So මේ දෙපැත්තේම pins තියෙනවා. මේ පැත්තේ තියෙනවා. මේ ටික අපිට පේන්නේ නැහැ එහා පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ. Right? Microcontroller, components of microcontroller. One is central processing unit. Second one is memory. Second one is memory. You can take this down now. Medically ගන්න. Tell me when you're finished, huh? Okay. Only done?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next one is, third one is there is a system clock. Inside this microcontroller, there is a system clock. This system clock is a electronic device. Right? What is doing by the system clock? It synchronize all the components of the microcontroller. What is the meaning of synchronize? So what are the components? There is a memory, there is a CPU. So all the things should be work properly to the right time, right? To the right time. So therefore, the system clock will maintain that process. It will ensure that all the components do their task at the right time, right? That is the purpose of having a system clock that is inside this microcontroller. It is an electronic device. It synchronizes all the components of the microcontroller. That is the task of this system clock. So last one is, there are peripheral devices. Peripheral devices. What is the meaning of this peripheral devices? Means, so I draw that microcontroller. There are set of pins. What is pins there on a microcontroller circuit? So those are the peripheral devices. So what will happen for this little pins? It will get the inputs and it will give the output, right? So therefore, peripheral devices are the pins of the microcontroller, right? Pins of microcontroller which get the inputs and give the outputs, right? The pins of microcontroller which get the inputs and give the outputs. So we call those pins as peripheral devices, right? In that microcontroller, there are small pins. Some set of pins get the inputs, other set of pins give the outputs, right? So those are the components of this microcontroller, system clock, and peripheral devices. Take this down. Right. Okay, we know that what is a microcontroller and what are the main process of that microcontroller. Get the input, process those inputs and give the expected output. How the microcontroller get the inputs? From the sensors, mostly from the sensors, right? Okay, and we know that what are the components, main components of the microcontroller? Central processing unit, right? Memory. There are two types of memories, volatile memory and non-volatile memory. What is in volatile memory? Volatile memories, there is a temporary data that is needed by the central processing unit, temporary data and instructions. So what is inside non-volatile memory is the stored program. Program is inside the non-volatile memory, right? Then system clock is there. The purpose of having a system clock is it synchronizes all the components of the microcontroller. So it makes sure that all the components work together to give the specific task at certain time, right? That is the purpose of having a system clock. Then finally, there's a peripheral devices. What is the meaning of peripheral devices is the small pins of microcontroller, right? Set of pins get the input and other set of pins give the outputs. Those are the peripheral devices, right? Those are things inside this microcontroller, right? By next week, we do the rest of the things of the microcontrollers, and there are several types of microcontrollers that normally we use in day-to-day life. Right, up to now, any questions?
Sir, yes, I have a question.
Yeah,
Sir, what if there are peripheral devices in unit number 1 also? So what if they ask in the paper? So what's the answer we are supposed to give?
sorry, dear. Again,
Sir, in unit 1, there are also peripheral devices which has a different meaning.
ah,
So what if,
yes, yes. So now this peripheral devices is only for microcontroller. So normally peripheral devices means input devices, output devices, and storage devices. So we know that those are peripheral devices. So to that question, when you ask the questions like names, what is the meaning of peripheral devices? So you have to say input devices, output devices, and storage devices, right? It's general one. So when someone, when there is question related to microcontrollers, what are the peripheral devices? The question should ask like that. Related to microcontrollers, what are the peripheral devices of microcontrollers? Then you can say there's an input pins and output pins. So if there's a general question, so what is the meaning of peripheral devices? Then input devices, output devices, and storage devices. Those are the peripheral devices. Got it?
yes, sir, thank you, sir.
Right. Anything else?
No, sir.
Right. Okay. So we'll meet on next week, right? We'll discuss the rest of this. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
I okay.